Okay, yeah, so we're going to be looking at gold with the exact continuation of what we did on Eurocard using trend line with smart money concept to see how market makers reprice the market using trend lines because they know it. And that is the reason why we can see it on Google. But we need to understand exactly why and what kind of manipulation they are doing at what time in order to actually get the actual the correct pricing. So let's see what gold is doing right here at the minute. I'm going to use 5 minutes time frame. Once again, let's clone it. No, it don't work. The reason is this low created this high. This low created this high. Two different examples, but then let's see exactly where price went with this. I'm not trying to create it. I'm just trying to see exactly where they pushed off the market. It wasn't inside the imbalance, but it was an attempt into reaching inside the imbalance, and still we respected it beautifully. You see how we touch in the trend line? We touch in this area. And who can tell me what is happening here? Those crew that learn smart money concepts with Wyckoff, whatever it is, let me know exactly what's happening here. In the chat box, please. In the chat box. I'm in USD card galley button, but sure where to take profit. All right, yeah, we'll go about USD card later on. Accumulation, thank you, Augusta. The spring, Antonia. W, then spring. See, people are grasping exactly what I do. Cell climax, automatic reaction, ST, spring. And boom, gold is going. And look at where it happened, right there on the trend line. If I had drawn the trend line wrong, would I have been able to identify that accumulation is happening at a place that reversal should really happen? Francis, do you always clone your trend line to create like a channel? Yes, I have to. Do you know what that does? That gives me not a false hope as to where to put my profit target. So I don't just create a profit target and say this move is going to create this high. No. If I know exactly what channel they're moving through, then I can reprice that, okay, from here, I'm looking to take my profit, maybe my TP1 around that area, my TP2 around that area. Anytime I'm around inside the channel and I see a wick rejection, if we go on a higher time frame, you see that all this area is just all wick rejections. Can you see that, guys? Misha. So the cloning is not just there for you to think, okay, do I always have to create a channel? Yes, you need to see exactly where we are doing the wick rejections. Dan, don't be wild yet. If you draw a good trend line, I can guarantee you price is always going to retrace exactly where you want it to be. It is. And that was just it. So guys, trend lines are not so useless. But then it's about how we've been made to understand that we don't have to draw trend line in certain ways. Look, if I extend this right here, you see that it's not a mistake that we actually created this low. Can we see that? If I extend the touch right here, you know that it's not a mistake that we created this low, neither this one or that one. But then that same one gives us the channel, right? If I should clean this one and clone this one instead, because you don't have to force to create it, just clone it. The cloning removes all them human errors possibility. Touch, drop, right there, and we have accumulation. There is a channel 2 in trading view. Do you use that? No, I don't tend to use the channel because I don't trust it really. I'd rather want to draw the trend line and just clone it for me to know exactly why it's like that. So it's not a mistake at all that I'm seeing accumulation. I'm seeing accumulation around this area. Why? Because I know that I have the touch on the trend line. Does that make sense, guys? Give me a one in the chat box if that's helping. Thank you. Please go over it again. All right, I will. I was trying to show people exactly how to draw trend lines and not draw it just by mistake and think that okay, I'm gonna just put a touch here. I know people that draw trend lines like this. I'm gonna show you why they're always wrong. They draw trend line like this. From this touch, they stretch it just to get a touch from there. If you're on this call and you do this, be honest, give me a 2 in the chat box. Be honest. It is wrong. I'm saying it. I'm not the master of the chat. I'm not whatever it is. Pardon me if I say, but it is completely wrong. That's not how trend lines are supposed to be like. The reason why you see it getting broken all the time whenever you think it should actually hold is because you drew your trend line at the wrong place. Another one I'm going to show you right here. Somebody is going to create this touch and put it there and tell me they have a trend line. So whenever price come back to touch it, it has to drop. Forgetting that this high created this low and this low created this high. So it should be this instead. If you understood that, you would know that in this area, what has happened was we have broken the structure of the trend line, retested it, and now we're looking to go higher. But then you are doing this. So all you're thinking is, oh, we touched it, we are retesting it, so we have to come lower. forgetting that you left this one out. The main structure, you left it out. Once again, I know people that will be drawing this from this touch to here and say, oh, this is my trend line. Forgetting that the actual touch was here. The actual structure is here and not there. Why? Is because this low created this high and this high created this low. So if I'm drawing the channel now, it's going to be like that. Clone this and up there. So I will be watching when price come back to this area, come back again to touch this area. That is when I can expect a proper reversal from that trend line. Is somebody starting to get some value out here? I hope that is clear.
No.
So are you saying gold is making sense now? Gold has always made sense, I guess. Whether you like it or not, whether it's making sense to you or not, it is always making sense. It's up to you to actually find as to what coding they're using at certain price time. Because you use trend line to give you a profit margin today does not necessarily mean that tomorrow you're going to use that same trend line and it's going to work. So if I use trend line and I hit my stop loss, I'm not going to draw another trend line. All I'm going to do is I'm going to start and look. Was there an institutional candlestick that price had to get into before it moved up? So don't be a robot. I repeat, don't be a robot. Was it a mistake that price should come around this area and drop? Give me a one in the chat box if it was. Was it a mistake that price had to come there and drop? Right? Knowing the trade lines and everything in place, there was still an institutional move right there. There was still a break of market structure right there. Reversals are taking place in imbalances, trading with trend lines. Thank you. Are we getting some value? This is probably going to change the game for somebody on this call. If I should draw a trend line from here to there, is it correct or wrong? And why is that? Not respecting the low from the next high. Doesn't follow the proper market structure. Oh my God. I think I've done some teaching right here. Thank you guys. So now if I push this right here, it's going to start making sense to you as to why price is selling. And why is price selling right now? We have broken it, retested it, and dropped. How do I know that I've retested it? Let's look at it. This is the candle that broke it. And this is the candle that retested it. So as soon as that candle retested and gave me that wick rejection straight away, if you go on smaller time frame, you even have a better entry. Do we see the retesting now? Broken, retested, and drop. Do we see it?
Francis,
Yes.
is that why some imbalances are not fully covered?
Yes, please.
Because of the trend line being retested and then reversing. Is that
Yeah.
why?
And the trend line is not being tested in the wrong way. It's being tested. Look at that. Do we have a liquidity void here? Can you see that? The trend line won't be retested in the wrong way. In
Got
this
it.
area right here, why price came down this way. If you know your supply and demand, you know that this area is a hidden demand. If I go on a smaller time frame, you see exactly what I said is a hidden demand. We're gonna go until we find it. Can we see this right here? Rally, base, rally in that area. So everywhere here was a demand zone. Now you know why price came here and then it went up. It touched it and then it went up. Am I making sense, guys? What I mean by rally-based rally is a bullish move, a consolidation, plus another bullish move, rally-based rally. And that is a demand zone. So that zone that I've just marked out, I don't expect everybody to understand, but if you know a little bit about supply and demand, come on, it's gone. Sorry, guys. If you know supply and demand zones, you know exactly why price had to reverse off that area and up the trend line. It's not by mistake. Do you want to see some more examples? Good evening, family. Can you please take the example again, Francis? I'm sorry for not arriving. Don't worry, DK has been recorded. You can go back and watch the recording. Any other pair that you want us to look at? I have a beautiful one. I have a beautiful one on GBP share. Oh my God, that was sweet. Look at that one, guys. Touch, 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 touch. And before we need more homework, you need more homework. Yes, I'm gonna set homework for people. Well, let me do what people are really asking. DI is talking about that. I know you people love that, man. You love it. So if I want to draw a trend line from this low to this high, can I clone it? It's right in front of you guys. I don't even have to talk anymore. Look at that touch. Look at that touch. Is it by mistake that price dropped off that area? Look at this touch. break, retest, break, retest, drop. Now we are outside the channel. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to create another one. Touch, 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 touch. This is when I realized that, oh, so there are actually some people drawing trend lines properly, and there are some people drawing trend lines really rubbishly. And then I started doing the work for myself to understand why my trend line wasn't working. And a perfect example as to when price need to break lower to come into the imbalance.
So do you only touch the lower lows that create a higher high?
The low that created the high, right?
Okay.
The touch that created the low, the touch that created the low, the touch that created the low. That's what you're looking at. So once you've
Okay.
drawn your first trend line, right? Once you've drawn it, clone it to the high. From this low, we created this high. We created the low here before we created it. So I'm not going to put and think that this area is going to sell off. This is where I want to touch from here to there. Once I place my cloned line around this area, everywhere above this area, I don't care. All I'm waiting for is the touch for me to sell down, touch to sell down, touch to sell down, touch to buy up, touch to buy up. Am I making sense?
Yeah, kind of.
Kind of, is not working for me.
Yes,
Who said kind of?
it was me.
I guess
Yes, sir.
no. You want me to repeat?
We just need practice. And I think it's not going to happen tonight, just over a period of time.
Okay, let's look at this. Let's look at this, guys. So if I look at the bigger picture, this low, actually, let me use Elliott wave. This low right here. Why am I using head and shoulders? This low right here, high, created that low, created that low, high, and I expect this to even go higher. So don't be surprised if you see that going even higher. Right, and I put my trend line this way to there. My clone is now going to look like this. This low is where I stretch my trend line from, so this is how it's going to be. I want to touch here first. This is where I started my trend line from, so I want to touch that area first. Does that make sense? So now if I see price come anywhere to touch this again, I know that I want to sell. Am I getting people to see exactly what I'm thinking or what I'm seeing on the chart?
Why did you place point 4 so high up above the chart?
The reason why I put 0.4 above the chart is because I'm not seeing the next touch on this line. That's what I mean. This touch, 1, right? Created 2.
Yeah.
And 2 created what? 3. So 3 needs to give me 4 for me to start thinking of a sell. Should make a higher high as it is upward trend. Thank you. Because it didn't touch point 4. Thank you. Thank you. I think people are really grasping it. People are really grasping it. I don't really know how to break it down again. But yeah, let's see. Let's pick another example. Another example. Let's play the charts. Let's use this area. Daily time frame. Let's use this area. If I draw a trend line from here, just that I want the very high of it. And I clone it. I want to put it down here. The reason is this high created this low. Does that make sense? I guess that.
Yes, it does.
So now look at the way it came back to touch that area and it had to go up. But then it wasn't by mistake that price had to break it. Why do I mean it wasn't by mistake? Look at where price came. Imbalance, institutional candlestick, break of market structure. There we go. Come on, is somebody not seeing this? Would you use this as well as harmonics? Yes, I do. And the reason is, if I even look in this area, you can clearly see I have a harmonic pattern. What harmonic pattern was that? Wow, that even makes it even extra sauce. Oh my. Wow. A back pattern right there. A trend line right there. An institutional candlestick right there. Boom. Are we getting some value, guys? You see, it's not so hard. It's about the practice. I can show you what is happening, but if you don't go back and practice it, you see, I set up a group chat and showed people what I'm doing. The reason why I did set up a group chat was to allow people to practice and send their chats in the group chat for feedback. And I believe you people can agree with me that I do so well at replying to people's messages once I see it. I don't do that just because I love to chat. I don't do that because I just love to comment or talk about people's stuff. All I'm trying to do is I just want you people to practice it, send your markup. I will have a look at it to see that you are really grasping the concept. But then how many of you are really doing it? Your charts are not coming, but you want to make profit. Your charts are not coming, but you want to be an independent trader. No, it don't happen like that. Well, I have less than 6 minutes on the call right now. I just want to ask a question. Let me stop the recording.